There's some bombshell emails coming out that the Oversight Committee just released last night from the Jeffrey Epstein estate. This is one of them. This was from Importance High. And then in the title is, I have been thinking about that, ... It's from GMax, Ghislaine Maxwell, to Jeffrey Epstein, vacation, @gmail.com. And it says, I want you to know. She says that. Original message was from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell on April 2nd of 2011. And it said, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. And then redacted, the victim's name has been redacted. It says, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. What? The time that Adelita Grijalva will be sworn in, and she will be the 218th signature on the discharge petition that will release these Epstein files. Let me see what else we got here today. Recall, this is right around the time that there were reports coming out in the British press about Epstein, and they were surprised that Donald Trump had not been implicated. He had not been spoken to. It was kind of odd because he was his best friend, right? And also he was, as it looks, involved. Very involved, like incredibly involved. Because I believe Annie Farmer. I believe those victims. He didn't lie about it. Just ridiculous. Hold on. Blanche asked her, did you ever observe the president Did you ever observe President Trump receive a massage? She said never. Did you ever observe? You said, and there's photographs, I think. There's some in the photographs. She said yes. As well, those all appear to be social settings. She said yes. She said, do you? And she said, that's my memory. They were social settings. I don't know Epstein's, if he had whatever the nature of the president's friendship, if you will, or however you want to define that with Epstein. I was never witnessed. I think they were friendly like people are in social settings. I don't think they were close friends, or I certainly never witnessed the president in any of, I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance. We know for a fact he was in the Palm Beach estate. For a fucking fact. Wow. That's his memory, right? Well, this email would suggest that there was a victim who spent hours with Donald Trump at Jeffrey Epstein's house, and what that could indicate, right? I mean, Maxwell seems to have forgotten all that when she's trying to pretty herself up, right, and act like a victim in order to get her sentence commuted and get a pardon when she was talking to Blanche. I mean, there's interesting email exchanges in here. In 2015, Michael Wolff had an exchange with the journalist, with Jeffrey Epstein. He's written a number of books. He was working on a book about Epstein. He's been very public about the information and all the knowledge he has. But there's an exchange between Michael Wolff and Jeffrey Epstein about if Jeffrey Epstein is questioned or Donald Trump is questioned and how that should go. A little bit of PR coaching. So, I mean, it appears. He said, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the phone or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. So on Tuesday, December 15th, 2015, said, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? And then on December 15th at 8 p.m. So that's what, so I hear CNN is asking is planning to ask Trump about his relationship with you, either on the air or in a scrum afterwards. If we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? And that's when he said, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the phone or to the house, if he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, It is possible that when asked, he'll just say Jeffrey's a great guy and he's gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. So, wow, that was in 2016, 12/16. Holy cow, that was right when he got into office. Ha ha ha. I mean, that was when he was running for office. This is crazy. We all know this stuff's true. So, remember, he said he outlined him from Mar-a-Lago because he thought it was a creep. That's the timeline is off for that. That the timeline is so off for that. So I think he's lying. And there's another timeline, another section that says, well, he had a fight with Jeffrey Epstein over that mansion that ended up being sold. He went behind Jeffrey Epstein's back and he bid over him on the mansion. He got the mansion, and then he sold it for twice of what he bought it for to a Russian oligarch named Roblevin. So that's, I think, what really broke them up. But wow, this is going to be great, you guys. I can't wait for all of it to come out. And I know they've been redacting. I know they've been shredding. And I know they've been trying to cover up. But so many, there's hundreds and hundreds of people have seen these files. So if there's any spin to be put on them, people will leak. There will be whistleblowers. There must be whistleblowers.